Hello everybody and a happy Junk Journal July to you. In this video I'm going to be creating a spread in my journal using some of my favourite junk journal supplies. I'm sure you're all familiar with Junk Journal July, but just in case you're not, it is a biannual, there's one in January too, event hosted by Meg Journals where she creates these really inspiring prompt lists with a different journal prompt for every day of the month. And to kick off the event, she also organises a YouTube hop where a bunch of journal YouTubers get together and share a creative video to inspire you and help get you started. And I'm always honoured when I'm invited to take part. And by the way, in case you're new to my channel, my name is Grace, aka ms.paperlover. I mostly do journals on this channel, but I do other things occasionally as well, a bit of mixed media, card making, things like that. So there will be links in the description to both the prompt list and to the playlist where you can watch everyone's videos. And this July we're creating videos on the subject of favourite supplies. Now I decided to go really simple with this prompt favourite supplies and just choose my favourite basic supplies and go from there. I'm not limiting myself too much and I'm not counting the absolute basics like scissors and glue and things like that. But what I did was look at the things that I have ready to hand at my desk. Nothing I have to get up for and search around for. What are those things that I use the most that I have to hand? Those must be my favourite supplies. And I'm very much going with my favourites, by the way. Your favourites may be very, very different. So after some thinking and some eliminating some other things, I came up with these things. So first I have paper, obviously. On my desk, I keep a little envelope of the papers that I really, really love to use. So I have things like writing paper, craft paper, obviously lots of old book pages, some music paper, handmade paper, and vellum, because I love to create with vellum, both printed and plain vellum. I also had to grab some washi tape because I love my washi tape. It's my favourite thing. So I just went with 5. I just chose 5 at random to go with. Then I have my box of stickers. So I keep this little box on my desk and it has all sorts of little stickers and ephemera and cute little bits and pieces I find. Some are my own stickers that I design for my shop. Some are stickers that go in my junk journal kits. Just lots of cute little bits and pieces that I find, and I keep them, as I said, in this box so I always have them ready to hand. Then I have my inks. I love my inks. My personal favourites are Distress Oxides. Obviously you use whatever you love best. And I went with my 3 favourite colours, which are Vintage Photo, Tea Dye and Victorian Velvet. And then I also brought out a couple of my favourite tools, such as my stapler, my tearing ruler or decal edge ruler, my distress tool and my tag punch board, but I'll talk more about those as I use them. So I started off my page by ripping up a few of those pieces of paper to start working on a background. I often find when you have that blank page in front of you and you're like, oh my goodness, what do I do? Where do I start? It's just find something, rip a piece of washi, rip a piece of paper, shove it down on the page, and there you are, you've started. So I'm going to work on and build up this background with tearing up little bits of paper, layering them up, seeing how they all work together, trialing them out before sticking them down, going around the edges of some of them with one of the oxide colours because it adds that lovely, more distressed vintagey effect. And just keep going until I am happy with that background. Now I am trying to be strict with myself and only use those supplies that I pulled out. I am going to cheat once or twice, but I think I can get away with it. I think it's justified and you'll see when we get there. But I am very much trying to stick to the pile of papers, the washi tape, the box of stickers and the inks. One of the things I find when it comes to using your favourite supplies or remembering to use supplies is cute storage. I know that sounds a bit simple and basic, but I'm one of those people where I need to see it to remember it and to remember to use it, but it's just not feasible to have everything out all of the time. So if I store my things in cute little storage solutions, then that's the way I remember to use them. So I have that vintage playing card box, for example, to keep all those little stickers and bits, and I have, for example, a cute little tin where I keep all my vintage stamps, and I have all these little bits and pieces, and it really helps me to remember to use the things rather than being in a pile in the corner of the room or in a massive box under my desk or something like that. Having those smaller little storage solutions, as I said, really helps me personally to remember to use things. So what I'm doing here is I am writing out just some poetry. What I'm doing is I love to have writing in the background that you don't necessarily have to read. I just really love the effect of having writing there. So I go through, I find poetry or whatever and write it out so it looks really nice. What I'm doing at the moment is going through all the poems in the Lord of the Rings so that when I want some background pattern writing just for the effect of it, I've got something ready to go. And I think personally it looks nicer than just using a stamp or something like that. I enjoy the process of writing it out, and I think it looks nice. So what I'm using here is one of the tools I was talking about. Now this tool is one of my favorite supplies, hands down, and it's one of those that is really not necessary. It is the We Are Memory Keepers tag punch board. I love it so much, and I'm sure many of you are going, that's just ridiculous, that is not a needed tool. No, I know it's not needed, but it's still one of my favorites. I am really bad at eyeballing to cut a tag to the right side. If I do it just, you know, with freehand, they always look wonky, and I'm also far too lazy to measure them out. So that little tool, I can pop out a tag in a couple of seconds, and there we go. So this is my unnecessary but one of my favorite tools. So I've created 3 tags here using some of the craft paper that I had from my little pile of papers. And I'm going to decorate the front of each one of those tags, again, using those supplies that I have set out for myself, my beautiful vintage and vintage effect papers and craft paper and music paper and all those yummy things, my little collection of stickers and washi tape. What I really love about a really basic supply such as paper is you can do so many things with it. You can see on these tags I've ripped up some of the smallest little pieces of the paper, but they make such a difference. Like on that large tag behind that, the lady sticker, there's that little bit of printed paper and a little bit of craft paper sticking out from behind her. And I think it makes all the difference. Those tiny little pieces of paper, whether it's on a tag or a whole page or whatever, they make such a difference to the whole effect of the thing. And this, I think, is why I take such joy in journaling and junk journaling, where those little scrappy bits that you would otherwise throw away, they can completely change a project, and I take such joy in little pieces of paper and interesting papers and book pages and old things. I've just got my hands on some vintage, very, very lightweight typewriter paper, which is really, really gorgeous. And I think this is one of the things about junk journaling, is finding those things that really, really bring you joy and happiness to work and create with, even if they are someone else's rubbish. But at the same time, even new things like with me and washi tape, many people would say, well, that's not junk, but I love it. I love it so much, and I love working with it. So for me, it has to be a favorite supply, whether it is officially junk or not. So here comes in a little bit of cheating, where I bring in my crocodile to punch holes in the tags. I hadn't got that out as one of the tools originally, but oh well. Sorry if you can hear my cat meowing in the background there. But I also pulled out some hole reinforcer stickers from a different little box of cute stickers. That's the one where I keep all my little labels and functional stickers. But I have to put a hole reinforcer sticker on a tag like this. I think it looks weird if I don't. And I like to colour them as well with whatever ink I've been using on that particular tag. So on the big one, for example, I was using Victorian Velvet. I like to colour the hole reinforcer the same colour. And then a little bit later on, I will be cheating again and pulling out some twine to put in the tags. But I have to put twine in tags. I have to. I can't not. But here I'm going to pull out my beloved vellum. I love using vellum so much. I think in my previous junk journal, junk journal January video, I was showing you all the different ways I love to use vellum. So I'll leave a link for that if you haven't seen it and if you're interested. But I'm still going to use it in this video because it is one of my favourite supplies. So I tore some of that printed vellum. I used the tearing ruler to do that. I prefer the way it looks with a tearing ruler. It has a more natural look that I think fits the general junk journal aesthetic that I'm going for. Again, it's one of those things, you don't absolutely need it, but is it good to have? Yes, it is. I will have trouble finding a link for that one though, because the place I bought it from doesn't exist anymore, but I will try and find one for you. So on the back of each tag, I'm going to either add, well, on this one, I'm adding the little Junk Journal July prompt list that I printed off on my thermal printer, and a couple little stickers and bits of washi tape for added interest. And then I'm going to do journaling on the back of the other two tags. So on that one, the journaling is going to be directly about Junk Journal July, and the prompt list that I put on the other tag. And then on the larger tag, I'm going to do some more personal journaling. That's not really to do with anything I've journaled on the other tag, just some stuff I had on my mind and wanted to write down. So because it's personal though, like really, really personal, I wanted to hide it slightly and not be as easy to read for, say, somebody who was just casually flicking through my journal to look at things. So what I'm going to do is add some more layers to my page with vellum, as I do quite a lot. I cut down that vellum to size, or tore it down to the size I wanted with my decal edge. And then what I'm going to do is attach that tag with the really personal journaling to the front of that vellum, but also have the vellum stuck down in a way that you lift it up. So if someone is casually looking through that journal, they'll lift up the vellum, go like, oh look, there's something underneath that, and see where I wrote like the poem and the little sticker cluster I did, and not necessarily see that there's something underneath on the other side of the vellum as well. And then I'm also going to do some really simple decoration to that piece of vellum as well to make it its own element on the page. I pulled out these stickers again from the sticker box. I'm just showing you here, if you are having trouble with like individual sticker flakes and peeling off the backing, it can be particularly hard on like clear or washi type stickers, is I hold down the sticker really, really firmly to my desk, like really push it down with my fingers, and then get a little pin and push it in that space between the sticker and its backing, and that usually helps. Sometimes it can take, a couple of attempts, but if you really push that sticker down into the desk to get that pressure, you can slide the pin underneath, no problem. So added those, add a little strip of washi so it looks like the flowers are stuck on. And then I also added, I hadn't managed to get like the last 2 lines of that poem on the page, so I had to add those on the vellum because it was annoying me that I didn't get the last 2 lines on there. And I think it looks cute just having those 2 lines of text on the vellum in a different pen colour, where, that little vellum piece is quite simple decoration. It's more busy behind. I don't know, I quite like that effect. But then I absolutely had to add a simple collage cluster to the top of that vellum pocket because it was annoying me so much the way it was plain and it didn't match the rest of the page. So again, I've done the same thing as I did on the tags. I've got some little scraps and pieces of paper that you would usually throw away, a couple of stickers and ephemera pieces from my little box of tricks, and a little bit of washi as well, and I think it looks super cute. So I have punched a hole in the vellum to attach the tag to it with some twine, and also folded about 1/4 of an inch at the top, so it's obvious that that's the way you're supposed to sort of open the vellum top ways. I will be adjusting how I tied that tag to the vellum though, because it was a bit loose, a bit sort of falling all over the place the way I did it, so I had to do it a bit tighter. I'm stapling the vellum to my page on that fold line, making sure I don't accidentally staple down the twine. And then, as I said, I need to adjust that twine because the tag's just sort of flapping around all over the place. And then just to finish off, I decided that the opposite page, that's the parchment page paper, was something was really plain about it and annoying me, so I have done a very simple faux stitched border around the edge of it, and I think it actually makes all the difference. I didn't want to add any more stickers or anything like that because it would have been too much, but adding that little faux stitch border really finished it off for me. And now we have come to the end. I want to thank you so much for watching. A big thank you to Meg of Meg Journals for organising Junk Journal July and inviting me to take part in the video hop. Please remember to check out the playlist to go watch everyone else's videos if you aren't already on the playlist. And yeah, that'll be enough from me. Again, thank you so much for watching. There'll be all sorts of links in the description for Junk Journal July things, and the YouTube playlist and products used and all of that sort of thing. Please leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Chat to me in the comments. Tell me about your favourite junk journal supplies. And that's going to be it from me. Thank you so much again. Bye bye.